Good afternoon to all our participants in India and other countries in South Asia, as well as Southeast Asia, and good morning to our audience in Germany. Welcome everybody to Training Made in Germany and to our online event, VET on the Move, with a focus on climate-friendly technologies and renewables. I am Sylvia Niedig, Regional Manager for South Asia and Southeast Asia here at iMove, and I'm so happy that you are all with us today to explore training provisions of German training providers in the field of sustainable technical solutions. Our organization, iMove, is the networking platform for German companies which offer vocational education and further training and for their international partners. Over 20 years ago, iMove was established by the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research and is part of the Federal Institute for Vocational Education and Training. This online event today is the fifth of its kind with live pitches by 4 German training providers. Now, let me briefly introduce you to our topic today. Every year, the research organization Global Footprint Network calculates the so-called Earth Overshoot Day. Up to this date, mankind has consumed all natural resources which the Earth can generate within this year. Last year, this day was July 29. For the rest of the year, mankind lived on the Earth's hidden reserves. Each year, Earth's natural resources are exhausted earlier. If mankind does not operate more economically, we will need 2 planets by 2030 to meet our demands regarding food and renewable raw material. The expansion of more sustainable technology models and more eco-friendly energy supply will play a major role for climate protection in the future. The basic concept of sustainability is that future generations should have the same opportunities we have to lead a good and satisfactory life. Climate-friendly technologies and renewable energies play an important role in shaping the quality of life, of all our lives. Sustainable development, therefore, links economic progress with social justice and environmental protection. Sustainability today is a quality characteristic and indispensable in many sectors due to customer expectations. All over the world, companies are more and more under pressure to prove the sustainability of their products and services. And it is very helpful if qualified staff possesses competencies in sustainability and can generate sustainable solutions for their employers. Future-oriented technologies offer opportunities for future-oriented jobs. In order to reach their self-imposed sustainability goals, international customers today prefer to commission providers who can help them in this field. This also applies to vocational education and training. Germany's economic success is reinforced by its expertise in vocational education and training and its dual training system. Training Made in Germany offers the necessary know-how and quality in order to increase the added value for international partners. With today's issue of VET on the Move, with its focus on climate-friendly technologies and renewables, we wish to facilitate new cooperation and business partnerships between German training providers and partners from South and Southeast Asia in this field. So today I wish you exciting insights into what the German training industry has to offer. And I would now like to hand over to my colleague, Markus Aust, our German senior expert for India, who is going to host today's event and to introduce you to our other colleagues at iMove who facilitate today's event, as well as to today's panelists. Hello, Markus.
Hello, Sylvia. Thank you for the introduction. A warm welcome also from my side. My name is Markus Aust. I am part of the iMove team, and I will be the moderator of this 1.5 hours event today, together with my colleague Arunachalam Karthikeyan, who is the head of the iMove office in India. Hello, Karthik, and a warm welcome to India. And I would like also to introduce my colleague Kristina Trutmanova, who will take care of the technical aspects of today's event. Hello, Kristina. Thank you, Sylvia, Karthik, and thank you, Kristina, for being here with me today. That's very lovely from you. So today we are going to see and hear presentations of 4 German training providers who all offer trainings related to climate-friendly technologies and renewables. These offers will be presented in 10-minute pitches, and after each presentation, there will be a 5-minute slot for questions. I will be the timekeeper and friendly remind the panelists when their presentations comes to an end. But before we can start, I would like to hand over again to Kristina. She would like to introduce some technical remarks for the audience. Thank you, Kristina.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kristina Trutmanova, and it's a pleasure for me to join this event today with you. So before we start, I would like to show you some technical information. Your microphone and camera have been switched off during the whole event, so you can concentrate completely on the presentation. If you notice that you're having internet problems during the event, please choose by conference call and enter the German number, which you can see here, and with this access code. If you would like to pose a question to one of our panelists today, please expand the category question. So you can put your question right here in this box, and we will answer it later. If you want to contact our panelists directly, just write your question as well in the box. So here, just write this here in the box. After each presentation, we only allow 5 minutes for questions. We might not be able to pose every of them right away, but we will inform each individual panelist about the question, and we will come back to you later with an answer. So now I finish with the technical information, and I give the word back to Markus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kristina, for the introduction of the technical aspects. I hope everything is clear. But before this presentation starts, we would like to conduct a short survey and kindly ask you to answer the following questions. So we would like to know from you which topic is of particular importance for you. And here's some choices of answers. A, energy efficiency is in the construction sector. B, training systems on renewable energies. C, digital training for greening TVET systems. Or D, training of trainers in resource-friendly technologies. We would like to know from you which topic is of particular importance for you. So let us know your answers now, and we will inform you about the results immediately. I hope we have some interesting answers, right? Okay, that's the result. So energy efficiency in the construction sector are mostly 17% from the audience, and over 70% interested in training systems on renewable energies. It's very interesting. And also half of them are interested in digital training for greening TVD systems, and over 54% in training of trainers in resource-friendly technologies. Okay, thank you so much for participation in that short survey. And we would like to go now to introduce the today panelists to you and have them present their training offers regarding mobility issues for the Indian audience. So then we have Mr. Stefan Lischke from LD Didactic. We have Ms. Olga Dektianko from TVD Hamburg, Mr. Mohan Iyer from Christiani Sharpline Technical Training, and Mr. Philipp Stephan from Baubildung International. So our first panelist will be Mr. Stefan Lischke. Mr. Lischke is the Sales Director of East from Asia from LD Didactic. Mr. Lischke will present training solutions which cover the entire spectrum of basic functionalities of sustainable energy solutions.
Thank you very much. So let's just getting started. As Mr. Oss said, my name is Stefan Lischke. I'm the Sales Director East Asia at LD Didactic. And in the beginning, I just want to give you a short introduction into the company, what we are doing, and then I will focus on the renewable energies and training systems or which we can provide. So please go to the first page in my presentation. Okay, LD Didactic is a company based in Germany, in the suburb of the nice city of Cologne. Is a company who is designing and producing equipment for teaching, for natural science, and for technical education. We are now over 170 years in this business. We are equipped more than 100,000 schools in over 80 countries, and also the top universities on the list like Harvard, Oxford, MIT, they're using our equipment for teaching. Yes, as I said, established 1850 in Cologne. And of course, we have a wide range of house manufactured products for science and technical education. And of course, now with the new technologies and also due to this pandemic, we concentrate much more on the digital solution for teaching as well, besides our hardware solutions. Please, the next page. Okay, this is a little bit about our 4 segments which we have. As I said, we are doing the teaching solutions, so the hardware, software, and all the literature for natural science. So that's physics, chemistry, and biology on one side. And on the other side, we are concentrating on electrical engineering parts, so the whole range from control technology to telecommunication, automotive technology, whatever. And from the level, we're starting in, let's say, natural science in secondary schools. So in technology, we're starting at the vocational school level and going up to colleges, polytechnics, and university level. So this is a little bit the introduction, what we are doing at LD Didactic. And now I want to concentrate a little bit more on the renewable energy field in Southeast Asia. So please, the next page. Okay, so I took out some information, some facts, what renewable energy generation in the world is doing, how it's increasing. So you can see there's really a big increase in the past 10 years of generation of renewable energy. So please just click one more slide so that the text will appear. Yeah, you see a worldwide change towards renewable energies and in all over the world. Doesn't matter if you are in Asia or Europe or in Africa. Please one more click. And this requires, besides the technology for producing hydropower or wind power or solar power, this requires new knowledge and new skills. And of course, in this range, the curricula in the schools need to be adapted as well. Please, the next click. So that's why we see an increasing demand for educational products and services in this environment of climate protection. Please, the next slide. So, and as normally in education, we're always discussing about availability of budgets for the training or for the equipment. And I have here for Southeast Asia some facts. How much money is invested into the renewable energies. So it is breakdown here in the different kind of renewable energies like solar, wind, biomass, hydropower, geothermal, and marine. So the wave generators there. So we see there is a big investment. So in 2020, we had over 150 billion investment only in Southeast Asia into this renewable energies. That means there is also a portion out of this 150 billion should be available for education, for equipment, and for the training and capacity building. Please go on to the next slide. Okay, so that's now the question is, you see the money, the interest is there, the money is there. So what needs to be done to do the successfully change to green energy? Please click one more. First of all, we need a change in energy production away from fossil energies, coal or oil. And of course, the infrastructure need to be changed, and it will be decentralized. Before it was just a power plant, a transmission line to the user, and now you have a lot of small power plants, solar powers on the roof, so the generation is decentralized. And we need new power plants, as I said, solar, wind, hydropower, besides the gas or oil fueled power plants which we had in the past, or the nuclear power plants. That means also a change in grid infrastructure and grid management, because now one day you have a lot of sun, so the solar power is going up. The next day you have wind, but no sun. So that means in management and in the power storage, there must be some investment also in the transmission lines and in the grid. And of course, to mention the charging point for e-mobility, for e-cars, also has to be installed. And the fifth point, which sometimes some governments forget to think about, is after the investment in the infrastructure, you need to train and educate the people to be able to install this kind of systems, to manage it, and maintain the new infrastructure. And this is what we like to do with our education systems, which I will show you now in the next slide. So what topics need to be sought in this field? So please, one more click. Of course, it's all about power generation. So as I said, new power plants coming up, so power generation is different from before. Students need to learn this. As I said, wind, solar power, hydropower plant, biomass, geothermal, whatever. But as I also mentioned already, power distribution, how the power is distributed with this decentralized power stations now. This is a new approach. Students need to learn about this as well. Please, next click. As I said, smart grid is a big topic which is necessary to manage this decentralized power generation system. Power storage is a very, very big issue. This is not solved yet. We have some approach with batteries, with hydrogen, with some water pumping plants and stuff like this. And of course, power usage is also a different approach now. You need more power for the e-mobility. You have, but also sometimes you also produce at the house already the energy you need. So this is a big change, and the student need to learn how to manage this kind of challenges. So what LD Didactic, our company, can offer in this range? Please click the next click. Okay, we have a training system for all the fundamentals of renewable energies, mostly concentrating of wind and hydropower and solar power plants. Biomass is a little bit more complicated. We have this maybe in chemistry and biology. And of course, power generation, different behavior of different power plants, which we can simulate with our systems. Power transmission, storage of power, mainly in the field of hydrogen. All the systems about e-mobility, about charging, decharging of electric cars, about all the technology which is necessary to drive an electric car. And of course, we concentrate on not only on the student side, the teacher also need to learn the new skills, the new technologies. So teacher training and capacity building is something which we can offer as well. So please, next slide. So you can see here some of our systems. This is the small trainer for wind energy to be as a tabletop, then a real power generation trainer for in the range of 1 kilowatt, and some tabletop trainer to learn about the smart grids, how to manage grids in now the decentralized world of power generation. So you see, there are a lot of trainers for the e-mobility, for the high voltage, for the charging stations, and also how the e-mobility in cars, the high voltage systems are working. Please, next slide. And as I said, teacher training and capacity building, which we offer with our LDA, Leibold Didactic Academy, such as online webinars or on-site remote training courses, or in our lab in Germany, or with our partners in the institutions in Germany. This is all what we can offer. And I said, virtual online experiment with detailed videos, experimentation, and on-site and remote teaching solutions for all this kind of renewable energies. And the last slide, please. And of course, we as a manufacturer, we also are linked to environmental sustainability. As you see, we can do a lot of things in our production process to save resources and so on. So this is also some of our key issues which we're concentrating on. So thank you very much. That was in a rush, but I want to show you what we can do and how is the situation in Southeast Asia as far as I can see.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lischke, for the very interesting presentations. Now I would like to hand over to my colleague, Kartik. Kartik, are there questions from the audience for Mr. Lischke?
We are expecting few questions, but in the meantime, I thought I will thank Mr. Lischke for this very effective, crisp presentation. Thank you for on behalf of the audience. In the meantime, I just wanted to ask you a few questions. Who are your typical customers?
Typical customers are either institutions, vocational schools, polytechnics or universities, and also industrial training centers. So it depends a little bit on the structure. So some big companies have their own training centers. These are our customers, but mostly we are dealing with the Ministry of Education or Ministry of Labor and their related institutions.
Thank you. And what is the difference between the training you offer to the users and the training the trainers?
Yeah, actually, for the users, we are concentrating really on the technology, let's say on the fundamentals of solar and wind power and whatever. For the teachers, we doing some let's say didactic approach. So we use our partners in some universities in Germany who would teach or teach teachers. So just also to show them how to include, because mostly they just taught the topics on the blackboard or on a whiteboard, and they also need to learn how in an efficient way include experimentation into the teaching process. So this part, let's say this didactic part, this didactic approach is additionally for teachers which the student don't have. They just focus on the technology.
And what could be the typical duration of the trained teachers or trainers?
It depends really on, we make it this tailor-made approach, because we start with, let's say, with an assessment to see where is the knowledge level, and then from this we create the courses. They can be from, let's say, a one-day course, and the longest course what we have was a 2-year program. So it really depends on the approach and on the level. This is really a tailor-made thing. We have to have the assessment, and then we have the goal, what we should reach, and then we find a tailor-made solution for that.
Probably a last question could be, you mentioned about the experiments, right? Could you elaborate a little on the virtual online experiments which were mentioned in your presentation?
Yeah, you can find them on our website, or some examples for it, because in this pandemic we found the labs are being closed, so the students could not go to the lab. So our customers ask us, we need a solution for that one. So what we did, of course, they could go to YouTube and watch some videos on experiments, but the disadvantage on this is they don't have an instruction sheet as they have normally when they do experiment, how to set it up, to do the experiment, and then have the results and then evaluate. This you can't do with these videos. So we make something like instruction sheet, an interactive instruction sheet with an embedded video, so you can see a real experiment, and you will get also the results, the same results you would have if you measure in a lab. And then the students can do the evaluation, answer the question, and send this sheet back to the teacher for evaluation and for getting the grades. So this is really a very new approach. If you are interested, I can send you the link. You can find something of this in our webpage, because we also create a new approach of manuals, which are online on HTML based. You can use it on any tablet, mobile phone, whatever, and you always have the results and the values in your device. And we just extended a little bit with this virtual experiment. I hope this is getting a little bit more clear. You should just see one, then you understand much more clearly what I'm talking about.
Sure. Thank you so much. And we look forward for the link so that we can also share it with all our participants. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you. Thank you, Kartik. Thank you, Mr. Lischke. It was very interesting, and that seems to be that it's very interesting for the audience, your topic. So that was actually very interesting also for us to hear that. Okay. Next in line is Ms. Olga Dektayenko. So let me introduce shortly Olga Dektayenko. Olga Dektayenko is project manager from TVET Hamburg at GFA Consulting Group, and she will introduce an e-learning program called Green TVET School, which has been designed by a consortium called TVET Hamburg. Ms. Dektayenko, please introduce your training offer for us.
Mr. Ost, thank you very much for your introduction. And hello, everyone, with a very warm welcome from Hamburg. As been said, my name is Olga Dektayenko, and I work as Educational Project Manager for TVET Hamburg Consortium led by GFA Consulting Group. Today, I'm very pleased and happy to share our experience in such important area as new skills and emerging jobs in the sector of renewable energies, with a particular focus on success factors of dual vocational training for green skills development. Next slide, please. What is actually TVET Hamburg? Our consortium, established 5 years ago, is a joint initiative of 3 German institutions: Hamburg Institute for Vocational Education, Hamburg Chamber of Commerce, and GFA Consulting Group, being the leading partner of the consortium. Combining extensive expertise of these 3 institutions, TVET Hamburg works in international cooperation and offers an ideal platform for passing experiences of dual vocational training in partner countries. Next slide, please. We offer a variety of product groups for international market, from information workshops and study tours to comprehensive consultancy and TVET system development. All our services are customized to the specific needs of our partners. Our particular focus of activities is organization of further education programs for foreign TVET professionals on a wide range of subjects, be it didactics and methodology of dual TVET, curriculum development, or digital learning. Next slide, please. Today, TVET Hamburg proudly looks back on 2 successfully completed rounds of the Green TVET School, a unique e-learning program on German dual training system with a focus on green energy skills. The 6-week program is targeted at TVET professionals and policymakers from around the globe, connecting them to learn, network, brainstorm, and exchange best practices in different country contexts. The program was designed and implemented by TVET Hamburg in partnership with Renewables Academy RENAC from Berlin, with the objective to create a comprehensive online learning experience about essential features of dual TVET, current trends and skills needs in the sector of renewables. Due consideration was given to cross-cutting topics in TVET, such as quality management, public-private partnerships, skills needs analysis, curriculum development, digitalization, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The contents were developed in collaboration with experts from renowned organizations such as the UNESCO Chair for TVET and Competence Development for the Future of Work at the Technical University Dortmund, Wind Industry Association and Innovation Cluster, Hamburg industrial companies, and vocational schools in the field of energy technology. The course was delivered in a modular format via the learning management system Moodle, which allowed for both synchronous and asynchronous learning, with a weekly workload of about 4 hours. Next slide, please. How actually did this program come to existence? Originally, we planned the Green TVET School as a study tour to Hamburg. But in response to travel restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic, TVET Hamburg reshaped the study tour to an online learning program. Soon enough, it became clear that the online format could offer much more than a stopgap solution. Due to the flexible scheduling, neither bound to place nor time, participants could easily complete the program alongside a full-time job. Without travel and accommodation costs, the course fee also dropped significantly, making the course more accessible to a broad range of participants who might otherwise not have taken part in a visit to Hamburg. Participants could flexibly follow the course at their own pace and convenience, having at their disposal podcasts, interactive reading resources, videos, and attending experts' webinars, live discussions, and virtual cafes, fostering the exchange of experience. The highlight of the program was a group task to develop a country-specific roadmap towards greening TVET, being an action plan for a more sustainable, demand-driven TVET in the respective sphere of influence of our participants. Next slide, please. By now, the program brought together more than 70 TVET professionals, ranging from policymakers in ministries to TVET teachers, practitioners, and consultants in international cooperation projects from all over the world. Azerbaijan, Brazil, Burkina Faso, Egypt, Georgia, Ghana, Kyrgyzstan, Nigeria, Pakistan, Senegal, Zambia, and many other countries. The presentation of the roadmaps in front of an expert panel was the concluding highlight of the course and provided the participants with inspiration for the next steps in their professional life. Upon successful completion, participants received a certificate and a learning diary with tangible course outcomes in order to capitalize on their learning experience. Next slide, please. The participants liked the active format that allowed for knowledge sharing. And in evaluation received, we were really happy to see how valuable the program content was for our participants and how committed they were to learn, brainstorm, and share best practices in different country contexts on the way towards greening Tibet and applying dual training features. Next one, please. Analyzing our success factors, we see them first of all in our first-hand experience shared by German professionals, our interactive and engaging methods, and group work arrangements aimed at the development of real action plans for greening Tibet systems. Next one, please. In light of the positive feedback from participants, as well as repeated inquiries from interested parties, we are happy to announce that the online Green Tibet School will be held again soon in May-June of 2022. We would like to take this opportunity to invite you to register on our website or following the QR code. The registration is still open till Monday, the 2nd of May. So please do not miss out and hurry up. Next slide, please. In case of any questions, please reach us out using our contact details, which you see on the screen. By saying that, concluding my brief introduction to Tibet Hamburg and Green Tibet School, let me share with you the following video fragment from the course about the different players of dual Tibet in Hamburg.
In Germany, dual vocational training has a long history. Having somebody who comes from school is an investment, and it takes time and money. So when companies invest in apprentices, they do so because they want to have a qualified worker in their own company.
It's a big opportunity for the company to get well-trained and well-qualified employees at the end of the day. It's a big part of the HR planning.
We have been preparing for meeting changes for our personnel for some time now. We have the problem that in the next 10 years, 900 employees leave us. That means 37%.
And actually, it was the intention of this video to show only the first 40 seconds as a sneak preview. But I have shared the link to the full video in our chat and more, of course, in our full training program, which will start soon.
Great, that is lovely for the explanation. To Kartik, there are more questions right now.
Yeah, I will take very quick questions. Could you please elaborate on the certificates which you mentioned in your presentation? What kind of a certificate do you issue?
The certificates specify the course content, are signed by the Tibet Hamburg General Manager, and contains the logos of all involved institutions from Germany. So,
okay. And could you also please quickly elaborate a little on your interactive learning methods?
Interactive methods, they combine asynchronous and synchronous methods, and they engage our participants to exchange their experience. And we think it is a very valuable approach because they can not only listen, we are using quizzes, we are using a discussion board, we are using podcasts, and we foster, therefore, the contacts, be it our German professionals or our participants between each other. So actually peer learning exchange as well.
And the last question is, what are the typical background of your students, of the participants of your training?
Actually, ideally, we would like to see people with Tibet experience, Tibet professionals like teachers or actually decision makers and researchers. Another very good feature of our program is that depending on our registrations and interests, we can slightly amend our program to the needs. For example, if we see that Tibet teachers are in the group, we focus more on didactics. If we see that decision makers from different countries are there, we underline and go through more of system level questions like laws, regulations, public-private partnership. So this is our approach to customize our program to our participants, which are, as been said, mostly with Tibet background.
Thank you, and we wish you that you have wonderful participation in the future events. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you very much.
Also from my side, thank you very much, Ms. Dektayenko, and also Kartik for the questions from the audience. So now, let me now introduce Mr. Mohan Iyer, General Manager and Business Head of Christiani Sharpline Technical Training Private Limited. Christiani aims at developing practical and versatile training systems for professions in the field of renewable energies, which can be used in initial and further training. Mr. Iyer, we are very much looking forward to see your presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marcus, and a very good morning to everyone in Germany, and a very good afternoon to all the people from India and this part of Asia. As Mr. Marcus introduced, my name is Mohan Iyer, and I am responsible for Christiani in India and basically all the products and solutions that we sell. And today, I'm primarily here to present to you our renewable energy products and solutions, which we have in this regard. So, Christiani, just make one click on the slide, please. So basically what I would be talking to you about today is all the products and solutions which we have in the areas of power engineering, the photovoltaics, thermal heat pumps, biomass and hybrid systems, and also show you some applications photographs on individual technology. Next slide, please. The next slide, please. Thank you. So under power engineering, the basic education, also for further education and projects, we have certain products which we have, which is like the generator bike and the energy trainer, which is there. And the features of the system is basically generates electrical energy by using muscle power, and you can also then check various devices, for example, how much energy it's required to light up an incandescent bulb lamp vis-a-vis a LED lamp, or how much energy you require to switch on a loudspeaker or an electric engine and so forth. Basically, the key on the energy bike is right now high consumption would be high throttling resistance, or low consumption with low throttling resistance, basically. So similarly, the same goes for the energy trainer as well. Like if you see on the picture, there is a hand lever, and you actually need to turn the hand lever to generate the energy into the system, and then thereby also do various experiments. Basically, so the learning objectives, what you get out of this, these two kits, is understanding the basics of electric units, which is voltage, current, power, energy. the different consumption patterns of the electrical devices, vis-a-vis how you could sort of save energy. The generator bike is, in fact, a very good example to make students understand the reason for energy conservation and how difficult it is to sort of generate energy for various different needs as well. And the target group, what we can sort of say this would cater to would be the primary, secondary, or adult education, and also in vocational education and training. Next slide, please. So the other two products, what we have is now in photovoltaics. The one which is previously was with basic electrical engineering. This is on the photovoltaics, which we have a kit called as a solar power case, which is a portable kit, which can cater to a group of about 4 or 5 students, or even 2 students, depending upon the number of kits one procures. And this essentially will teach you all the relevant components of a PV system, an off-grid module, the charge controller, charging, load consumption devices, etc. And basically, this is just fitted on a magnetic board, as you will see in the photograph, and can be taken out into the open sun, and you could do a lot of experiments in this. The thing with our products is it comes with also the learning documentation for both the trainer as well as the trainer, wherein the complete set of experiments and the learning curriculum methodology, as per the German way of learning, is completed by us. And the faculty generally has to make their own notes based on the framework and the learning documentation provided, and deliver it in their own style and pattern. The learning objectives from this particular kit would be like to do the components of the PV system, simple circuits and storage technologies with the charge controller, etc. And of course, the same target group of primary, secondary education, vocational education and training, and of course, further education. The next product, what we have is the first level, which we say as the solar bookcase. This is provided in 3 versions. One is as a raw material kit, which is an unprepared kit, which is pre-machined, wherein the participants will have to do the basic machining, like the sawing, drilling, how we sort of install a solar panel. So this essentially teaches is required with teaching from that. It is also available as a ready-to-assemble kit, wherein the machining is already done. And the third option is a fully assembled kit. So depending upon how your requirements would be, how you would want to, for example, in a training session, you would want to teach the installation and commissioning, then probably the unprepared kit would be a good option. Or you just want to show them the simulation aspect of showing the different experiments, then the fully assembled kit would be the one. And again, the objectives, as I mentioned, is like to essentially have skills for the assembly and installation, etc. This again can be at schools, also to teach in also the ITIs, if somebody wants to teach the installation of solar technology, how does the solar panel work, how does the solar panel necessarily get aligned, and all those various aspects of learning. These 2 kits are the one which we can offer. Next slide, please. So the next, what is 2 products what we have is the solar power lab. These are the advanced learning on solar technology. Essentially, to learn also on-grid systems. Essentially, how do you put voltage onto the grid, take out also the inverter supply, all those various aspects of learning high-end technology of solar. And essentially, this is more on to let's say maintenance of solar systems, or also on the design part of it. If somebody wants to learn, this is a kit which can be very well used. And of course, the objectives what essentially teaches us all the total aspects of solar technology learning. And again, as I mentioned earlier, all these kits come with the learning documentations of the trainer of the trainer. The next product what we have is the mobile PV generator, wherein you could connect a battery of about 20 volt modules in different ways to the parallel, serial, whatever be the experiments need to be performed. These are rotatable modules, and thereby with respect to the sun operation, so it shows a simulation of the the sun sunrise to sunset. It can just based on the halogen lamps which I mentioned, so it could sort of simulate the entire outside environment in the classroom itself. So these are the two advanced level modules which we have, especially in photovoltaics. It's very good. So the next area which we have is on renewable energy heating technology, in which we have all these trainer kits, especially on starting from geothermal underfloor heating, fan, solar thermal heat, coupling component heat pump, hybrid collector, which is again with the photovoltaic and thermal heat system. We also have pellet heating, which is basically biomass training. And also then we have products for building energy management for grid connection, which is both in the standalone system and a grid connection system. These are the different products which we have, which essentially you can sort of combine different kits here to suit your training requirements with respect to what is the technology which you want to teach, and then accordingly take it. Yeah, so here are some of the application examples. As what we have mentioned, if you see here, does the bottom photograph shows the pellet system, pellet heating, which is the biomass coupled with the SOC circuit, and the other kits over here. The other one is basically the photovoltaic cells. So different, as I mentioned, different modules and different applications which you could envisage, and then you could connect them across, and then you can put it. Next slide. Yeah, then the electrical power engineering for building energy management, we have these two kits, as I mentioned, which is essentially for grid connection learning, and also if you want to have a standalone application. Basically, the kit is made up of and battery and energy management system for grid coupling. Basically, both isolated or grid as well in some of the cases. Both these together can also sort of help you teach an UPS function system if you want to have that, and essentially gives you the complete understanding of different solar power systems with the energy management concepts, and also helps you to plan, install, expand, operate maintenance of the solar systems with the matrix storage. And again, as I said, the target group what this kit can cater to would be for vocational education training, and also in engineering colleges, polytechnics, and universities alike. Next slide.
Come to an end, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is the photograph of one of the sites we have done. This is for University of Belgaum and one of the regional centers in Gulbarga, wherein we have installed a complete geothermal lab, giving them 2 cases of all these products, whatever I just showed you before. Next slide. So just to tell you who we are, basically Dr. I.G. Paul Christiani is a company founded in 1931 as a distant education company in Germany. We are based out of Konstanz in South Germany, and today we are also responsible for all the complete practical training material, which is from the Federal Education Institute in Germany, the dual education pattern for vocational skills which are followed. All the project work materials which are provided by Christiani. We are also an examination partner for the different ERCAs, basically. The question papers for the different examinations of summer, spring, and winter, they are printed by us and distributed to the different centers, wherein which we have a complete repository of the previous papers for reference if you want to have. And we are a qualification partner for more than 240 plus trades. And also, of course, we provide vocational training equipment and services, is what you just saw, some of them. In fact, our range covers a lot in other areas as well, like in automation, automotive, also into basic mechanical technology and so forth. Where we have complete of over 15,000 plus products which we sell across countries. In India, we are in the form of a joint venture along with Sharpline, headquartered from Navi Mumbai. And it's a 50-50 joint venture, and we also do offer complete training facilities here in our training center in Navi Mumbai, Pune, and Chennai. And essentially, what we also try and provide is complete solutions to the engineering colleges, technical institutes, and industry as well. And also train about solutions by providing complete state-of-the-art detecting training methods, and also students, especially trying to bridge the gap between what they learn in college and what the industry expectations are. And basically everything inside excellence in technical training is what we aim to do. But next slide. Yeah, that's the last slide. And like our training centers in Germany and in Mumbai, Chennai, and Pune, and our headquarters in Constance. So thank you very much. This is what I had to present. I hope I was able to convey what products we have and what the solutions we can offer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohan Iyer from Christiani Sharpland. Thank you so much for your presentation. It was very informative. Kartik, did we receive any questions from the audience?
Yeah, there are a couple of questions. And yeah, I think Mr. Iyer has already explained almost everything. I wanted to ask about the partnership between Christiani and Sharpline, which he has already explained. And he has also mentioned about his typical customers. I only want to know one thing. Roughly how many participants you have been training in all your centers?
Primarily our main focus here in India is number one, setting up of all these central of excellence labs in all these different technology areas which I mentioned. That has been the prime focus. Other than that, since we also have these equipments at our training centers in Mumbai, Chennai, and Pune, of course, pre-COVID times, we've not started anything post-COVID now because of the limitations and the restrictions which we have. We used to do anywhere between about 400 to 600 participants a year, which used to include both participants from the academia and the industry, participating of different programs on PLC technology or CNC maintenance, CNC programming, etc. So as I mentioned, we also do have products and solutions in other areas as well, other than renewables. So these were some of the areas which we also used to do trainings on.
And could you also elaborate about the publications, the materials, what you create and you provide?
Yes. Yeah. So as I mentioned, we print the question papers for the winter, summer, and spring examinations for all the different trades at our center. And most of the institutes here in India who also follow the German pattern of the learning, which is of course authorized by the IGCC for the examinations. They purchase these question papers from us for reference in terms of the students when they take their examinations. Other than that, we also have a lot of books which are authored by industry scholars. Of course, our own publications as well, because Christiani primarily is known more for the content and the framework and the methodology for a training equipment which it does. So we also have a lot of different books on these subjects, which if somebody is interested, we would be happy to share the content and the topics which we have with us, basically.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Iyer, for this wonderful presentation and clarifying our questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A pleasure.
Thank you as well, also from my side, Kartik and Mr. Iyer, for the presentation. Thank you so much. We had already a free presentation for today, and the last presentation for today is given by Mr. Stefan. And now Mr. Stefan is Project Manager, National and International Projects from Baubildung International, BBE. He will present training solutions in the fields of energy efficiency, green building, water and waste water management, air and water filtration, and as well as building automation. Mr. Stefan, the floor is yours.
Okay, once again, hello from Leipzig, Germany. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Markus. Yeah, we would start now with my presentation, and I would ask for the next slide, please. So we from Baubildung International, we have different locations in the east of Germany where we have training centers where we provide training for apprentices and also further training for employees of construction companies and also on the management engineering level. We see here nationally and also internationally that the construction industry has more and complex requirements. Those employees have to know about different topics, let's say energy efficiency, technical innovation, sustainability. So there's an interdisciplinary working process, and that has to be trained and implemented into the construction industry. And we in Germany, but also internationally, companies need well-trained specialists, and our main focus in our training centers, training halls, with boarding house, etc. We provide mainly practical training there with materials, with machines, hands-on for the apprentices. And that's our main work here nationally. So you see a different location. There are 6 here with different fields. Here in Leipzig, you can see in Saxony, in the state of Saxony, we have focus on infrastructure. So here we focus on that, but we mainly provide all different trades of construction here in our trainings. So please, the next slide. Well, what we offer at BBI, or Baubildung International, Baubildung, if you know German, that means construction education. So here our services are mainly European technologies, together with our industry partners, educational services, and consulting. So I will go into those 3 fields now. Please, next slide. So here with our industry partners, we focus internationally on those topics called wastewater technology, drinking water treatment, waterproofing, building automation, as well as other technologies. Please, next slide. We had some projects with partners, mainly educational vocational colleges abroad, where we, together with our industrial partners, provided technology to them. That was a kind of a demonstration plant here in terms of inspection, maintenance, repair of pipeline systems. And here also we provide a holistic training program with hands-on training on the system, on the technology. So we mainly provide training to the trainers, who will then will be used as multipliers to use this practical knowledge and theoretical knowledge for their students. Next slide, please. Here also we have an example for the drinking water treatment. That is an upcoming topic everywhere in the world, where we provide training together with our industrial partners who provide a demonstration plant for the trainers. And then in those training institutions abroad, then this plant actually is able to provide purified drinking water, and is used as a training demonstration plant for the colleges, and the whole training plan is then also implemented into the curriculum and can be used for the students, but also for others in the region who are interested in this kind of technology. Next slide, please. Here another example is the topic of waterproofing, where we do the same. Again, we provide training materials, didactics and everything, and together with the company, we have in this case a quite big demonstration field where teachers are trained firsthand on this technology, together with let's say energy saving houses. We can seal building envelope, and so there's also a contribution to environment protection. Next slide, please. Building automation is also a topic we used in the past, where we had some partners abroad, where we concentrated in the control technology of buildings, green energy management, and energy storage and management, where we provided trainings with our partners. And these trainings, after they finish after 1 or 2 years, we can hand over the technology and they can use it for their own purposes in training at their premises or companies. So next slide, please. We also provide trainings in other technologies where we have, for example, prefabricated construction, work safety, and environmental protection, and also an interesting topic we are also working on with partners is sustainable urban agriculture in, for example, aquaponics and hydroponics. Next slide. Thank you. So low energy house, I want to provide you as the last topic in European technologies. Please, next slide. This combines all German technologies in one building. Here we include energy efficiency, waterproofing, smart home technologies, drinking water treatment, and sustainable wastewater technology in one house that we can provide with our partners and as on the campus, for example, for our partners abroad, so they can use this complete house as a training center on their own. Thank you. Next slide. So on our educational services, we provide dual summer courses and dual guest lecture programs. Please, next slide. Here we mainly target teachers and students in construction, where they can come to Germany, to Saxony in our state here, to provide them with practical training, for example in building technology. This is being prepared by an online training beforehand, and then they will come here to get training on this specific topic. Next slide, please. There's also the possibility to give more like a lecture or seminar on specific topics regarding, for example, green building, etc. For just a shorter time, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, online and in our training centers. Next slide. Blended learning, which came also through the pandemic to COVID-19, where we already in 2018 started with our international partners. Could you go to the next slide, please? And there we came up with specific topics that were of interest, like concrete, sewage systems, water treatment, supply systems, building technology / green building, accompanied by pedagogical guidance in the terms of dual system action-oriented learning. So on the left side, you see e-learning modules or e-learning modes, so to say, and to the right side, face-to-face practical trainings with demonstration plans, guest lectures, also company visits, and this all leads to a blended learning concept that ends with certificates at our premises here in Leipzig, for example. So next slide, please. So we on the top, we also provide consulting to our international partners in establishing dual training structures, like training workshops, actually curriculum development, upgrading of a college to a vocational university, as well as college management. Next slide. Thank you. That's all from my side. I made it short to give some time for some questions from your side, and I'm happy getting in touch with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Philip, for the presentation. It was lovely to see your informative aspects from your company. Kartik, are there any questions from the audience so far?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Philip, for this wonderful presentation, and thank you for your continuous support in reaching out to the Indian audience. And apart from Saxony, where all you have the demonstration training centers of VBI?
Well, we have 2 states here in the east of Germany. There's Saxony. We have 4 training centers, and then Saxony-Anhalt, which is next to Saxony. There are 2 training centers, and they all have a different, slightly different focus on. For example, we have a focus on infrastructure. Dresden training center, for example, on concrete steel concrete. Then Glauchau, a smaller city in the south of Saxony, on the machines that been used on the construction side. And from Saxony out, for example, track building, for example. There are so different topics those centers can provide, especially in the terms of further training for companies.
And could you name some companies from your network whose products you use for your training solutions?
Well, we have one very experienced partner in terms of energy efficiency and renewables. It's called Baumes Air. So they provide the technology in terms of what I showed you, drinking water purification, but also PV, photovoltaic system that are, for example, off-grid. We had a project in the Philippines where we provided off-grid systems, standalone PV modules and systems that are being used there on the smaller islands. So this was a very interesting project there. And we also have, for example, in terms of agriculture, urban agriculture, partner called Terra Urbana, who provide aquaponic systems and hydroponic systems as demonstration plants and also for bigger use in the city region. And they are also very interested in grey water reusage and these kind of topics of water management.
Could you give an example of establishment of dual training structures?
Well, we have partners abroad in Asia where we provide first of all trainings to their teachers. They are, for example, civil engineers who are teachers at a vocational college, and they want to get more hands-on practical skills where they implement German curriculum parts into their curriculum. So we cannot just export one-to-one our curriculum abroad. So we have to make a matching of elements of the curricula, and then those teachers are specially trained in specific trades where they teach on practical training, action-oriented learning with students. And after that training finished, they are able to use our elements to closely work together with the industry abroad.
Have you established any partnerships in India so far? Or
there were some partnerships in the past, and now we are trying to establish more new partnerships with colleges, institutes for vocational training, as well as the ministries who are maybe interested in some further training in these kind of fields and vocational training with a focus in energy efficiency and renewables, where we are also have a long experience over 20 years now. Yeah.
Thank you for your kind answers for all the questions. And I leave the floor to Marcus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kartik, for the handover. Thank you again, Philip, and for the presentation. Thank you again, Kartik, for the questions from the audience. And the last questions is from my side. So, and I would like to shortly to hand over to Christina. And I would like to know from you, from the audience and everybody, how did you like this online event today? So, and you would like to show you just a survey about. Thank you so much. So, first question, the presentations were interesting and useful for me. Second answer, the presentations might be of interest for me in the future. Or a third one, I plan to contact the training providers for further information after the event. So I give you a couple of seconds to vote. It will be very interesting for the iMove team to know that. Thank you so much in advance for that. Okay. Thank you for participating in our survey. I will leave it at that. And I would now like to thank all the panelists in the audience for being with us today and for sharing information and questions. And I would also like to thank my colleagues, especially Sylvia, Kartik, and Christina, for organizing and conducting this event together with me. It was lovely to be on my side. If you have further questions or if you want to get in touch with us, today's panelists, please do not hesitate to contact us. We are very much looking forward to hearing from you soon, and we will keep you up to date on training made in Germany on our website imove/Germany.de website. The whole iMove team sends you kind regards. Please stay safe and healthy, and we will say goodbye. Thank you so much.